What's up, guys? I just came from the theater, watched Birds of Prey, and honestly, it's really great. And yeah, I guess I wanted to record my thoughts on it. Well, Birds of Prey is essentially, I would say, a direct follow-up of Suicide Squad. We all know how that movie went. But fortunately, this movie kind of took the good things of Suicide Squad, which is, well, I would say one of the few good things of the movie, which is Harley Quinn. And they managed to make a very successful spin-off for her. And I gotta say, I honestly was kind of skeptical for it before the trailers were posted, because when this movie was announced, it was announced at the same time as the other titles DC announced, because at the same time they announced a Harley Quinn spinoff, a Joker spinoff for Jared Leto's Joker, and a Joker and Harley Quinn movie, and also a Batgirl movie, and none of them came to fruition. Not one of them. The only one that came to fruition was Birds of Prey. And well, yeah, and honestly, before the images, before the trailer, I was really skeptical, because DC at the time was in kind of a weird place, and the movie was sort of delayed a bit, and I don't know, it just made me sort of paranoid. I thought it was just gonna be another flop, because you have to understand, while after BVS, DC went on a really weird route where they just had no faith in their directors, and then there comes along this movie that's supposed to be a female superhero team-up led film, and it's R-rated, and I was so shocked, and I honestly didn't know how this was gonna go. But DC, I don't know, I guess they finally have trust in their directors, I guess. Or maybe this was the same situation as Joker, where they just didn't care enough to interfere. I think that's how the best movies are made, honestly. It's when directors really don't give a shit. I mean, not directors, sorry, producers. When producers really don't give a shit about the movie, because then they don't interfere. But yeah, I digress. But yeah, basically this movie, I really loved it. I really did. And I don't know, I feel like I have more love for this movie than the other DC EU films that came out, like Shazam, Wonder Woman, obviously Justice League. I guess you could say that I would put this at the top 5, honestly. I really did like this film. The cast, man, I really loved the cast. I have zero complaints about the cast, honestly. It's so strange, like, usually I manage to find one annoying character, even a minor one, but I honestly didn't find any character annoying here. Everyone was casted perfectly, Harley Quinn, Huntress, Black Mask, Victor Zsasz, Rene Montoya, all of them perfectly casted, honestly. The kid, I honestly can't say much about the kid, because she didn't have as much exposure as the other characters. I mean, her character was important, but she didn't have like enough screen time to be, at the same level, in my opinion. But still, like, it was so great. And Black Mask was an amazing villain. If you really had doubts on whether Black Mask in this film was gonna have enough intense presence, you should don't have any doubts, because this was, Ewan McGregor as Black Mask was pretty fucking great. He had like a really intense presence that sometimes I don't know, like, every time he had like a monologue or a scene, I felt like, hey guys, Danny from 12 Hours into the Future here. Yeah, I had to cut this part of the video because I was rudely interrupted. So, yeah, there's gonna be a few awkward cuts in this video. Sorry. He gave off like this vibe that he wants to be the center of attention, and it's just so interesting to watch. Honestly, lately DC has been making these interesting versions of these villains, you know, like with and Aquaman. Well, Wonder Woman not so much, but with Aquaman, Shazam, and right now with Birds of Prey, like these villains are honestly very interesting when you really think about it. And yeah, it's so I'm just such in awe that I can't stop thinking about Zaz and Black Mask. Oh, and Victor Zaz. A lot of people were kind of iffy about Victor Zaz also because of the way he looked and the way he was acting in the trailers. But the dude was actually also pretty perfect. I really liked his character. I liked how he was. I liked how much of a sadist he is. Honestly, nothing. When you really think about it, Zaz didn't change that much when it comes to the type of villain he is. He was still kind of a serial killer that enjoyed killing people, like out of the pure. He was a sadist, basically. The other thing that changed was his personality and obviously his sexuality, because he was in a relationship with Black Mask, and that's about it, honestly. And he's still a very good villain. Basically everyone in the cast is perfect. I really enjoyed all of them. They played their parts perfectly. There's really no complaints there. Honestly, with this movie overall, I don't have that many complaints. I just have one. It's just one, and it's more based on the CGI and the green screen, because obviously there were some moments where the CGI didn't look very good, and the green screen also. I mean, like for example, the what's the name? The hyena, the Bruce. Yeah, there were a lot of moments where you could tell that's not a real fucking hyena, and with the green screens also, you could tell like it was all fake, which is unfortunate. But I wouldn't blame the director for that. I think that's more the blame, shifted to Warner Brothers, because I think, like with most R-rated films, they didn't have that much faith in this movie, so they didn't want to, overspend on it. So yeah, so it's not surprising. I mean, it's an R-rated film with a villain as a main character, so not that surprising. But the movie was just so entertaining that it managed to still pull me in, because even though obviously the effects kind of took me out of the film, it's just that the characters and the story, it pulled me in, and I was still thoroughly entertained. And yeah, like from start to finish, there was no time. The movie's not boring at all. I've seen a few people say that it's boring. Didn't find it boring, not one moment. The movie is exciting, at times very intense, and also very hilarious. Like the jokes in this film are actually pretty funny. That was like my one worry also. I really thought that the jokes were gonna be kind of marvelly, but they weren't. They were actually pretty well written, pretty hilarious. And yeah, honestly, I feel like I laughed out loud in the theater way too much, because there was just so many side gags, so many wordplay, and it was just all really really hilarious. Honestly, I very much loved it. What else? Oh, one thing I really loved a lot is that this is the first time the DCEU kind of gave Gotham more attention, because that's one thing that I really did not like about the DCEU, which is for some reason Gotham has only been like an afterthought. I feel like Gotham was very much neglected. Yeah, and this movie sort of managed to create these authentic setting and these authentic characters, and it made them feel real. And it's something that I did not expect to happen. It's like I watched this movie and somehow the movie made me believe that these characters have existed for a long time in this universe. And it's obviously something very hard to believe, because even though it has been so many years since the first DCEU movie, it's still like hasn't been established as much as the Marvel universe. And somehow this movie managed to say to you, like you the viewer, this is Gotham, these are the characters that live in Gotham, and yeah, believe it. And somehow I did fucking believe it. I don't know how, but I did. And I think it's because of the way that all of these characters feel so authentic, and the director took the time to actually film this in a real city and not use green screens. I mean, obviously they used green screens in some parts, but there were a lot of scenes where it was filmed in a real city, and if I'm not mistaken, it was filmed in California, I think. Yeah, it was filmed in California, and somehow they managed to make California look like as if it was Gotham, which is something very interesting when you really think about it. And yeah, like that's something that I really loved about this movie. And from all of the reviews I've read, I haven't seen anyone like pointing that out, which honestly is kind of disappointing, because I feel like it's something worth noting. One thing I did see from all of the reviews is that some think that the R rating is unnecessary. Personally, I think that's wrong. I think the people that wanted it to be PG-13 are people who are just used to Marvel films, which is kind of disappointing, because there can be different types of comic book movies, honestly. Not everything has to follow the Marvel formula. This movie essentially did a similar style as Deadpool did. We have a meta main character whose morality is kind of questionable, but still manages to be charismatic enough to pull the movie forward until the end. I mean, carry the movie until the end. So, I mean, a lot of people loved Deadpool, but this movie, not that much. We're talking about Harley Quinn. Harley Quinn is not an anti-hero like Deadpool. Harley Quinn is an actual villain. A villain that has done very fucked up shit, if you've read the comics, if you've seen even the animated series. So making an R rating is the very logical choice when you consider that. Yeah, that basically sums up my thoughts on the movie. If you want like a short version of how to describe this movie, I guess the best way to describe it is, if you really loved Deadpool, then you would love this film. I don't know why I'm pointing there. You would love this film also, but not because it copies from it or anything. I think that this movie was inspired by the Deadpool movies. That's the best way to describe it. Yeah, it was pretty inspired by them, so it takes elements from that movie and just does his own thing with them. So you get still a fairly original comic book film, honestly. I haven't talked about the plot that much because I don't want to spoil it for anyone. I mean, the movie just came out, but just wanted to sum up my thoughts, and if I manage to convince you to watch it, that's enough for me, honestly. So yeah, go watch the movie. Like always, like this video, subscribe, please share this, and see you guys in the next video.